Elon Musk had always been known as a man driven by ideas big enough to shift the world, yet it was often the small, unnoticed gestures that revealed who he truly was. One late evening, the Tesla Research Center was almost empty, the halls quiet except for the occasional hum of machines winding down for the night. Elon walked through the dimly lit corridor, reviewing notes on his tablet, when he noticed a faint glow coming from one of the side labs. Curiosity led him to peek inside, and there he saw Aaron, a young technician, still working at his station long after everyone else had left. Aaron was surrounded by wires, tools, and components, clearly lost in his work. His phone sat beside him, plugged into a worn, twisted cable that looked like it had survived one too many charging cycles. The device had been charging for hours, stuck at 99%, the battery warm to the touch. Elon stepped closer and observed how the cable near the connector was slightly burnt, barely holding itself together. He knew that most people ignored these details, brushing them off as harmless, but he also knew how dangerous they could be. Without making a sound, Elon gently reached over and unplugged the phone. The soft click startled Aaron, who looked up suddenly, wide-eyed, thinking he had done something wrong. But Elon simply smiled, placing the phone safely on the desk. "No worries," he said in a calm voice that immediately eased the tension. "I just didn't want your phone, or you, to get hurt." Aaron exhaled in relief, though confusion lingered. He admitted he had a habit of charging his phone overnight, often leaving it under his pillow or blanket without giving it a second thought. It was something he had done for years. Elon pulled up a stool and sat beside him, setting aside his own work for the moment. He explained how lithium-ion batteries weren't designed to stay at full charge for hours on end, how they heated up quietly, wearing themselves down faster than people realized. He talked about cables that frayed internally, chargers that overheated, and how even a small spark could cause real harm. Aaron listened with growing surprise. He had always admired Elon for his technological genius, but he had never expected him to care about something as small as how one technician charged his phone. Elon continued speaking, not in a lecturing tone but in a gentle, thoughtful one, emphasizing that the biggest dangers were often the ones people never noticed. "Technology should serve you," he said softly. "It shouldn't quietly hurt you." Aaron found himself nodding slowly, absorbing every word. What struck him most was not the information itself but the sincerity with which it was delivered. Elon wasn't correcting him, he was protecting him. Even in the quietest hours of the night, with 1,000 responsibilities pulling at him, he took the time to care about a single person's safety. The moment felt unexpectedly human. Aaron realized that kindness didn't need to be loud or grand, it could be as simple as noticing a small risk and gently stepping in. And for the rest of that night, the warmth of that gesture stayed with him, long after the machines went silent. The next morning, Aaron arrived at the lab earlier than usual, a fresh sense of purpose guiding his steps. The conversation from the night before replayed in his mind, not because Elon Musk had spoken to him, but because of the unexpected warmth and sincerity behind the message. He realized how easily he had dismissed small risks in his daily routine, and how many of his colleagues were likely doing the same without thinking twice. As people trickled into the workspace, he decided to share what he had learned. At first, it felt awkward to bring it up. A few coworkers chuckled lightly, assuming it was just another safety reminder that would fade in a day or two. But as Aaron talked more about how a phone left charging overnight can overheat, how frayed cables can spark, and how batteries degrade when pushed to stay at full capacity, he noticed genuine concern appear on their faces. Some began checking their charging cables immediately. Others asked questions he never expected, like how to recognize early signs of battery swelling or what types of chargers were safest to use. By mid-morning, the topic had spread around the lab. People who seldom spoke to each other were having conversations about simple ways to avoid damaging their devices. A few engineers even started examining their own workstations, adjusting the power strips they had long ignored. What started as a private moment of kindness had begun weaving itself into the culture of the workplace. Later that week, someone from HR approached Aaron after hearing about the discussions. They suggested he help create a short, easy-to-read safety guide that could be distributed throughout the building. Aaron was stunned. He was used to taking instructions, not giving them. Yet the thought of helping others, of passing on something that could genuinely protect people, filled him with a quiet confidence he had never felt before. He spent the next few days putting together clear reminders, simple illustrations, and tips anyone could follow, regardless of technical background. When Elon himself heard about what Aaron was doing, he stopped by to show his support. He praised the effort, emphasizing that good knowledge becomes great when it's shared. Elon told him that kindness could scale the same way technology did, it just needed one person to start the chain. When the guide was finally distributed, the response was overwhelmingly positive. Employees not only read it but shared it with friends and family. Some told stories of how they had unknowingly been taking risks at home, charging phones under pillows or leaving them unplugged in power banks for hours. Others thanked Aaron personally, grateful that someone had cared enough to explain what they had always brushed aside. In the following weeks, Aaron watched as more people adopted safer habits. It wasn't a dramatic change, but it was a meaningful one, a quiet spread of awareness that made everyday life just a bit safer for hundreds of people. And through it all, Aaron never forgot the moment it came from. A simple gesture of kindness in a quiet lab, a reminder that even small actions can ripple outward in ways we never expect.